I'm live. Hi, Lex. Come on if you want. Just got back from a charity shop run. I had to go and pick up my son. You may not have heard the saga. I was trying to get hold of a nice IKEA office chair for my son. And I went all the way up to IKEA, spent some money, but didn't get the chair because although they told me it was in stock when I set off, when I got there it wasn't. So, and neither were my zip-up factor bags that I like to buy either. Oh, hello. Hello, C. Reeves. Cow, I want to say. Oh. Sorry, I'm doing an excuse me, while I have a little look. There's a man with a van outside, and I didn't know if he was going to try and drop something off here or if it's for next door. Evening, Dawn. Cherry Paul. Evening, Kelly. Evening. Evening? What am I talking about? That's your fault, Dawn. It's afternoon. Just afternoon. Hello, Gaz Picks Pack Cells. Gosh, I really struggle with that one. Yeah, I'm a little tired today. Hello, Sue. How are you, Susie? Nice to see everybody here. Wow. Okay. Well, it was sort of lunchtime, so I kind of thought, well, why not? Who's in the house? Oh, Lainey's in the house. Hello, Lainey. Hello, Sarah. Hi, Lainey. I saw last night's, whatever that was. Probably whatever that was with Lex and Carla. That was funny. I think my husband thought I'd gone upstairs and ended up having a nap, but I didn't. I was watching you guys instead of watching television. It was great fun. Excellent. Anyone who hasn't seen Lainey's show last night, or oh man, the name escapes me. It was 4 Live. There. I'm sure you want to remember what it was called that you were on last night. That was really good. Oh, hello, Anne. Hope you're well too. I'm well. Yes. It was just brilliant. Proper comedy. Unadulterated comedy. Right, here we are. Sorry, I keep fiddling my hair because I washed it last night and I've gone all floofy. It's very floofy. I feel like a spaniel is about to take off in a breeze. Rummage around. That's a good name, isn't it? Nice lads, and bless them. I don't think they quite knew what hit them, did they? They didn't quite know what hit them. Right, what did I spend today? I spent 31 pounds. 31 whole English pounds. Now, yesterday I went and got some bits which I won't bore you with because nothing extraordinarily amazing. But I literally went round, floofy. I literally went round about 3 charity shops because I went to one and they said, you do know that this other one's open? I'm like, oh, I didn't because it's not on the website. Went there and they said, you do know that the other one, that your local one's open? Okay, went to them all and found very little. Found some things, but it was a lot of effort and a lot of time to spend a bit of money. So they'll never be the same again, will they, Lainey? Blimey. They'll be in therapy for years. I thought they coped very, very well. I thought everybody was marvellous. Absolutely marvellous. Right, I'll show you what I got. This isn't the sort of thing I usually buy, but I will pick them up every now and again if I'm fairly certain they're genuine. And it's a club I recognise. Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace. Now, this unusually is a long sleeve one, which with the coming season, I thought, oh, you know, they'll want that. This looks very official, she says, and it says XL, XXL. So this is a very oversized thing, but it's a lovely thing. It looks official. So Macron, I thought that was a French president, but anyway, 100% polyester, just the thing for a hot day. Nice Crystal Palace stock. Don't know what it's worth, but it was £2, and everything was £2 unless I mention otherwise, because you'll get bored of hearing me say £2. Now I obviously didn't see you get your ass out because of course I had to kind of like go and join my husband at some point where he was wondering what happened to me. So I've got a bit at the end to watch. So I'm assuming that's where the behind appears. Okay. That sounds like, yes, I'm going to settle down with that with a cup of tea a bit later. So I'm making piles here. Making piles. As you do. Oh, don't we all love an oversized vintage M&S jumper. How's that for? Ew, sludgy brown, 80s. Ugh. Not my thing at all. It's enormous. But it would be absolutely fantastic for somebody. It is St. Michael from Marks and Spencer's. It needs a little bit of a debubble. Oh, thank you, Lex. I shall wait with anticipation for that. Extra large chest. There. Okay, nat mix. I'm sure it's got nothing to do with nat at all. I think you mean natural. Acrylic with some wool and some alpaca, which is what's giving it the sort of hairy look. It's probably not the key word, the hairy look, but it's nice and clean as well. Everything smells really nice. I think we've been washing their goodies. Now, these I bought without knowing very much about, because when it's £2, I kind of feel like this is a good opportunity for me to learn. These are Adidas. They're in quite nice condition. They were decent size, 9.5 male. Obviously, I'm going to look up numbers and things, but when they're kind of a neat design, I am not an expert in this, but I am teaching myself a little bit so that if something good comes up, a lot of kids have gone back to school, they'll have outgrown their previous trainers. These are non-marking, which is good. There is some wear on the sole, but it's nothing dramatic. 9.5 looks such a small size now after looking at my son's ones. Like boats. You could set sail in them with a family of 4. Has Susan sent you your special voice note yet, Lex? Hello, Joy. I'm not sure what that is, but clearly there was more happened last night than I never quite got my head around. Oh, these have a thing. They say touch compound. Ooh, that's not usually a good thing, is it? I presume it's this fact. This is slightly rubbery. Touch compound there. Yeah, bit of a clean up for £2. I thought, well, hey, why not? I do sell trains. I mean, I have a rolling stock of a few, but not loads. And a lot of that is because my son grew out of his trainers very rapidly, so I'm always having to put them onto resale. Adiprene. That's the material, though, isn't it? I don't think this has a make. Adi5 we got on the side. There's many things for me to look up. So you'll keep me busy, but they look quite complicated and look like there's a lot of work gone into making those. So who knows? I literally walked in the door, so I have not had a chance to do anything. Now, I like these because I like these sort of boots on fellas anyway. They're a bit hipstery, I suppose. They're in pretty good nick. They were also £2. They've got a slightly battered look about them, but hard to know if that's intentional or not. But they do actually have leather soles with nails in, which makes me think quality. Hello, these are a decent quality brand. Now, I'm wondering if they're H by Hudson, because I swear I had this the other day in something. It was a bit of ladies' shoes I found it in. Anyway, it looked familiar enough. They've got a little wear on the heels, but not much. They're a lovely kind of Oxford-style boot. Nice thick laces that were in good order. But the problem is, it's very difficult to see inside. Made in Portugal, 43. 43 is a 9. Let's say a 9 or a 10. It might be a 10, actually. But I could just about see on the bottom the word crafted. Again, it's very difficult because but it's been embossed. And I've got a feeling they are, I think they are, which is this Hudson by H or H by Hudson. But inside, they have been worn away, so some research will be required. But for £2, I wasn't going to say no to those. I like nice men's shoes. I think they're often a lot better made than women's shoes, especially the top brands. So we'll see. Right time of year for that sort of thing, I'm thinking. Oops. 10. A 10, yes. Size 10. Thought they were. Yes. I don't know what an average men's size is. Women's average is meant to be 5 or 6, isn't it? So I'm presuming average men's is something like 9 or 10. I'm guessing. I picked this up partly because it's Pringle Sport. I think a lot of people I'm guessing here because I don't know this for sure, but I think a lot of people who play golf like to wear these because they're mesh lined and they're kind of a slightly waterproof outer. And golf is obviously a thing at the moment because you can do that reasonably safely. You seem to have these sort of hook and loop sleeves. Like I said, for £2, I thought that's probably got to be worth some money. Don't know how much, but it felt quite nice. And I know Pringle is a good brand in itself, which is no guarantee of return, but worth a punt. It's also a size large, so it's all got the logo on, a little logo on the back. That's the Pringle logo. They have a little lion. He's a lion rampant. Don't even ask how I know that, but he's a rampant lion, which can never be a bad thing. Oh yes, now I liked this. I spotted this. I pick up belts, and I do fairly well with belts. I mean, some belts are better than others. This one is queer. I say that really well. Queer, véritable leather, real leather. Because when I looked at it, I thought, oh, it looks a bit cheap. And I thought, no, it says it's real leather, made in France. And then the magic name, Joseph. Love Joseph. I sold a couple of pairs of their trousers recently, and they were for good money. It's made up of lots of sections. It's like it's a snakeskin effect. It isn't snakeskin, it'll be leather. It's been embossed. And then a corking great buckle on the end. So, yeah, quite pleased with that. I rather like that. I don't think it'll fit me. It's a bit too Western for me. There's a touch of the pirate about it, I feel. But that would get slightly on my nerves because that's really heavy and would dangle. I'm not sure you really want to go around with something dangling in front of your groin area like that. Or maybe you do. It's probably not for me. But I like that. And it turned out to be better quality than it looked from a distance. So there's going to be some decent money in that. Well, you also an 8 to 10 is average men's size, really? Oh wow! I had no idea. You're above average in something. Yes. Well, that's it. I am miss average in terms of my foot size, if not necessarily my height. I'm a 6, but I don't really wear shoes. Something that's not an average size, and it has a bit more wear than I like, but because they're fit to flop boots, and it's this time of year, I thought I'll go for them. Now, they're pull-on design, which isn't going to suit everybody, and they are only a size 4, I think. Now, they've got wear to this bit at the bottom, but if people like them, I mean, that will affect the price. I'm not going to be able to get top dollar for them by any means, because they have quite a lot of wear. But if someone is looking for the fit flop boot, which seems to be fairly rare, so I'm peering in because it did tell me the size somewhere. Yeah, UK 4, EU 37. So they're a little size, but they're black. And they'll get a little bit of a polish up. That's all I will do, is give them a bit of a polish up and declare the wear. But there'll still be some money in those, I'm sure. How much? I don't quite know. Oh, there's new comments. Heavens above. Oh, Samsung. You're just back from the booty. Oh, right. Expect a haul then. Yeah, I'm just doing mine to distract me from the endless listing I really ought to do. And today is officially the last day of summer, so I'm in a summer dress, and I'm wearing the necklace that I picked up with a silver chain, sterling silver. And what I did was I went on eBay, I measured carefully and bought, because you could only buy them in a pack of 5, little lapis lazuli rounds, and then I have glued the lapis lazuli round in there because that is just perfect. It might be one I just keep, which I know isn't the idea of the game, but yeah. So I can fix jewellery if it's really simple. I don't have Gatesy skills, but some things I can. 8 is not quite as common as you think. Okay, yeah, I know that once you get above 7, it does seem to be a little harder to find things. This is the only other pair of shoes I got. Now these actually look. These haven't been worn. I mean, these are brand new. So they were worth picking up for £2 for that. Absolutely. Corking brand new. But they are a brand, I think they're sold in mountain, in the sort of millets type stores. Quechua. and sole. But, you know, they're okay. I mean, you know, bread and buttery things, I would think, for a couple of quid. You didn't get much. Oh, go to all that trouble. That must be annoying. These are a 5. There you go. Average size. It's always nice when they give them a name and then you can look up the style. Quechua. Yeah, not particularly high end, but, you know, a lot of people like these adjustable bands across the front, especially if they've got wider, you know, to tailor for their size feet. They find these more comfortable than regular shoes. Excellent. So I wasn't too unhappy with those. Always gets bargains in the sale. Is that the bigger size feet get bargains when they're left behind? I used to, when I used to buy new shoes and boots, and I don't tend to now, I tend to get things secondhand. I used to go to TK Maxx and could usually find a really nice, decent pair of boots for not too much money there. But like I say, these days I tend to wait until I find a pair I like and then keep them, because I've got lots of boots. In fact, I've actually listed 4 or 5 pairs of ankle boots that I had, Fly Londons, that I basically wore a couple of times. I mean, they were used when they came to me, and I had actually bought them off eBay. I hadn't just found, I think I found 1 pair, but yeah. So, but you can have too much stuff, you know. Okay, back to the clothing. Well, my son went back to school today. It was a cold that he had, but the amount of panic that's caused amongst people when they get a cold, thinking it's coronavirus, is like, man, we've got to learn the difference, you know, or life's going to get very awkward. Tales of people travelling many miles to get tests. Chap over the road from me, his son, who also goes to the same school as my son, apparently drove to Wales to get a test. I'm like, why not buy a private test? If money, because I don't think money's that much of an issue, and the amount that he'd have spent on petrol probably would have made more sense not to take a sick child to Wales, because Wales doesn't want sick children, do they, Lex? It's all very strange. And there's a school near us that has closed, basically year 7. It's one of the biggest grammar schools around here, and they've got 200 kids in year 7, and they've all been sent home, I think because one kid had a positive test for coronavirus, but that was quite a few days ago. Yeah, you really want the English coronavirus in Wales, don't you? Someone else was talking about being sent to Aberdeen. It's all a bit bizarre, and it's obviously gone tits up because they didn't plan ahead. You know, piss poor planning leads to failure and disappointment. And that's what they did. I'm buttoning up a button fly here because it's Levi's. Levi's kind of, they're not quick flips, and I don't price them super low, but they go steady. These are 501s, which are perennial. Oh, are they? Hang on. Yeah, 501s, width 34, length 32, fairly standard. In reasonable nick, sort of straight leg style. You know, for £2, yes. The other charity shops that think they can charge £8 for these would not be getting my business. You're waiting for Toby's year to be sent home. Yes, Susan. Yes, well, you're down my neck of the woods. You know how it is. It's all, you know, Alex was saying to me this morning, he was, you know, I said, clearly something's going wrong if the minute he goes back to school, he's picked up a common cold, because a common cold is a virus. Just like coronavirus is a virus. It's in the name. So if the cold is going around that quickly, then clearly something isn't quite working in terms of how they're managing spacing people out, social distancing, whatever it is. And I said to him, well, do you have to clean your desk when you go in and then clean it afterwards? Oh, no. So, but there's just no point in worrying. I can't do anything about it. And when they lock down again, as probably they will at some point, he'll be back home learning online. Oh, great fun. Oh, there we go. That's my other bit of my seat. Anyway, I'm not going to rant about it because, there's a lot of things you just really can't do anything about. I just said to him, just please be careful. This time you've got a cold, that's fine. And colds are probably a lot higher, more easily transmitted. But the fact that colds are going round, also they've been effectively in isolation since March, so they've got no immune system build up. Bubbles, a whole year group. So you've got a bubble of 150 to 200 children. that doesn't work because that's not a bubble, that's a crowd. And then, yes, of course, they have to mingle a bit. I mean, they don't have the bubbles in different year groups when they go to high school, but obviously, yes, in primaries. My son spent most of his primary school years, in the next class up for one reason or another. I don't do amazingly well with these. They go in fits and starts. It's the Maasai. The reason I pick it up is because I like their stuff, which is probably wrong. But this had a pretty leaf pattern. It's just a jersey dress. I won't pick up jersey dresses if they look like they've had a lot of wear, but a minimal amount of wear is fine. It's an easy style. It's got a slightly peculiar zip bit just at the front there, just quarter zip. So it's a comfy thing for wearing or working at home, I would imagine. They go for okay money, but they're not fast movers. But then a lot of my stuff isn't. I've realised this, and when I've watched Lee, the cola flipper, and a lot of the stuff that's higher end is longer tail, and you've got your money sunk into it. But it's worth making that investment once you're really up and running, and you can afford to say, right, I'm going to put that money there because I know it's going to come back. It's worth doing. When you first start, you don't feel comfortable doing that. Oh, yes, right. Parking ticket. Why did I buy this? I liked the shape. It's a bit nuts. Now, of course, I only had my glasses on. It says things on the bottom. It's not silver, but it's certainly silver plate at the very least. And I like the design. So if I get the camera out, I can enlarge it so my poor wee eyes will be able to see. Let's have a look. Where's the camera gone? There we go. Right. Maybe I can work out. Okay. There is a symbol that looks like nothing on earth. I really can't. Looks like Casper the Friendly Ghost, but I'm pretty damn sure that's not what it's meant to be. There is a symbol in a circle. Then it says IMP. Imp. That's a bit ridiculous too. Then there's a kind of cross stick sign. And then it says A1, which is what SPC, which is probably silver plate on copper. I would say copper because actually looking at the base, you can almost see the colour changes. But this one was £1. This wasn't. This is why my total was £31 and not 32. This was only £1, and I thought polished up. It's got quite nice lines. It's simple. It's not the usual tankard, and yeah, might polish up nicely. Comes with free web, but no free spider, for which I'm undyingly grateful. So happy about that. Yeah, onwards and onwards. Yeah, it's worth doing, isn't it? I think it's good to have a mix of things. I've always got the bread and butter stuff, and there is stuff I pick up just because I like it, so I think somebody else will. This is probably one of those examples of things that I kind of think I know people like them. It's not exciting. It is Jules, and Jules, again, is okay. It's a nice brand. It's certainly expensive new. And this is a midi dress with enough stripes to make your eyes go funny, really. One of the main draws with this one's got pockets. It has pockets. And I don't know about you, but I love a dress with pockets. It doesn't mean necessarily I'm going to put anything in them. And it's a UK 18, which is a nice size. Very comfy. Not necessarily high summer. I'm not buying strappy things anymore. I've got enough of those. And they are going. I've sold a few sort of more occasion pieces lately. I've been doing a bit better than I was expecting. I know September is traditionally one of my busier months, but I've been quite happy with how things have gone. That doesn't mean that I won't have a donut day in a day's time, because it always happens. And I still sell mostly clothes, and the clothes market is not dead. It is not dead. It is not an X market. It still works. This is a brand, again, I do not always pick up. Tiny writing says Massimo Dutti. But this is a silk blouse. It's in a lovely blush pink. It's got pussy bow collar, which I think is a bit of a thing right now, isn't it? It's come around again. The pussy bow collar gives it that slightly 80s feel. And this is a sort of a drop sleeve. but it's just rather nice. Sort of peachy pink. Not really me, but somebody will look lovely in it. It says 100% mulberry silk. So that's obviously a nice quality item that somebody will want for work or dressing up, I'm sure. Try and put that somewhere or it won't get crushed to a pulp and have to be smoothed out. Right, so that's all good. So, you know, I always like to hope I'm going to make 10 times my money back on what I spend. That's my kind of overall. So if I spent 30 quid, I want to make 300. I think I'll probably do better. Should do better than that on this, but that's kind of my rough ballpark figure. Again, another brand I don't often buy, Oliver Bonas. I know it's expensive. I know it's not well made, a lot of it, but this was kind of cool. It has gold, and again, that soft blush pink. It's a drop sleeve, so it's an oversize. And it's sort of a good layering piece for autumn, so it's not too high summer. Jumpers are going well. Menswear too. Yeah, my menswear's been picking up. In fact, I sold a lovely, well, it's antique, I suppose now. It's kind of like an Edwardian frock coat with the tails at the back and a shorter front. I've had that for probably about 18 months, and I had it on for 90 quid, and some bugger bought it. So worth hanging on to. Better end stuff than that. What else we got? That's the last bits. No, I picked this up because this is a brand I like. I thought this would be good for evening wear, or maybe someone wants to wear it for work. It's quite a decent neckline, but it's Vince Camuto, which is an American brand. Don't often get it here, but it is a 12. It's not a tiny size, and it has a lovely gold zip on the back, gold detailing at the front there. Very plain, but very smart. Suitable for many things. It's in almost a kind of a neoprene material. It's not quite. It's very, very thick, stretchy. Yeah, very interesting fabric. I'm sure someone look amazing in it. And the very last piece I picked up, this was in amongst the tops, which surprised me, but everything was £2 anyway. It's actually in 2 pieces. That's why I'm having a bit of trouble wrestling with it. Right, that goes there. Have I got an armpit, or is that a... Oh, Lord. Yeah, it's 2 things in one. I don't know whether you sell them together or separately, but it is Gudrun Stoden? Yeah. But it's basically a dress, but it's got 2 layers. So there's that as an underlayer, which is quite sheer. So I'm not sure you'd necessarily wear it on its own. Sort of nice bright yellow. Again, if someone's is going to get some winter sun or is emigrating, as people want to do at the moment, leaving Britain, had enough. And this is the sort of over top piece, which is sort of open at the back. So it's a very artsy look. It has a little bit of a problem. I think there was one seam I saw where there was a bit of fraying. Yep, there it is. I'll just trim that down, make it look nice, and declare it if it's still a fault and not just a bit of extra fabric. So I was quite pleased with all those. And that was £31 spent. Other exciting things that I've bought. I don't know. Let me have a quick look, see if I've got anything else while I'm here. I mean, to be fair, I'm scheduled up to the end of the month anyway, and I've still got quite a lot of stuff to be scheduled in for October. So this is me being a squirrel, so that I've got plenty of stock through the winter months, so that if the charity shops close or have rubbish stock, which is entirely possible, I will still have nice things to list. Oops. Oh, yeah. I can't remember what I've showed you and what I haven't, you know. Liked this, though. big chunky piece of Murano type glass. I think I might have showed you this actually, to be fair. You know, I can't remember. It's a good old chunk. Oh, hello, Steve. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, I know when you first start out, Sherry, it really is. You want to get feedback, you want to get built up number of sales, etc., etc. Once you really get going, you'll always have some items that are what I call slow burn, and then some things that will churn faster. And it's good to have a bit of a mix. You don't want everything to hang around forever. What do I need to show you? Oh, these were fun. This is a brand I like, and I don't find very often. I'll just show a couple of things because it's all a bit mad otherwise. Again, these look nothing when they're stuck on a hanger. You know, but that's why it's worth going through everything. You know, I go into a charity shop and I can spend a good 3/4 of an hour in there. So this is very sheer. This is really cool. This is by God. This is by Save the Queen. I always want to say God Save the Queen. It's my punk background, you know. Save the Queen. They have things like these little things on the back. Save the Queen. And the pinky label. Save the Queen. I don't come across this stuff very often at all, but I love the brand anyway. It's a bit punky and it's a bit mad. So that's like a very sheer dress. So you'd have to be feeling quite daring to wear that. And of course, right next to it was another one. Save the Queen. Again, with its little doodad on the back. And this is very strange. Look at that for visual trick of the eye. It's like you're walking through a gateway. And it's got the embellishments on here. Thankfully, none of them missing. It's got the same on the back. And then just to sort of gild the lily, it's actually a 2-layer with a bit of lace. It's mad. But someone will love it. Ooh, I haven't seen. I started to watch Auntie Sue, and then I had to go out and pick up my son's chair. So I haven't seen Auntie Sue's uranium glass. I do like uranium glass. It's a lovely thing, isn't it? Oh, it's just so much stuff. The difficulty is going to be filing it away and getting it all drafted so I can put it away so it's not actually sitting in here with me. But I was having trouble uploading my photos to the computer because although I do it from the phone, I like to have them stored on the computer so I can take them off the phone, free up space. But I'm going to have to look into that. So there we go. That was today. So I shall continue to do some listing. I want to go and sit outside because it's kind of like the last day of summer today, isn't it, really? To me, it feels like it because everything changes, doesn't it? We all start to get more autumnal as time goes on, which is lovely in itself. But I'm enjoying the warmth. Anyway, so I hope you're all having a good week. I hope eBay picks up for you for those that need it to pick up for them and keeps going well for those of it it's going well for. I'm still loving Tuesday paydays. Managed payments, especially yesterday's, which was quite nice. The trip to we're talking about the sort of, well, they call it an ashtray because once upon a time people have used it for an ashtray. It probably would, but it is surprisingly heavy because proper Murano glass is bloody heavy. If glass is light, it's not going to be the real thing. But yeah, you'd be surprised what does survive. I must admit, I find stuff does survive quite well. Occasional breakages, very rare. You know, and I pack quite well, but I'm not sort of mad about it. I don't kind of pack something this size in a box this size. No. Oh, hello, Joe. Nice to see you. So yes, well, you've just popped in as I'm popping out. I've sort of done my bits. You can always watch back, can't you? It's mostly clothes. Just saying, mostly clothes. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting some of this stuff drafted anyway. And it'd be nice to have some time off. Like that's ever going to happen. What am I saying? So take care, everyone. And no doubt I'll be back again with another haul when I've filled my boots somewhere else. So take care, and I'm going to say bye-bye and see if I can do this properly. Bye-bye now. Bye.